What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in as always. And before you click off, bro, this is not a Curse Clash video, bro. I just wanted to talk about the recent conversations that's been going on with the rumored to be new JJK game that's in development by CC2. Okay, now reason this is even a conversation in the first place because early in the year, before the JJK anime released, a spokesperson from CC2 spoke out and said how they're excited for the new release of the anime series or whatever, and that they're watching it and they also have something to announce at CC2, but they couldn't announce it yet. And they said if it was January 9th, the day the anime dropped, they will also have something they could announce. But as of today, there's nothing that they can announce. So everyone, please just watch Jujutsu Kaisen anime. Now, a lot of people found that weird because, as far as I know, CyberConnect 2 has never been connected to Jujutsu Kaisen in any way or any projects or anything like that. And them saying they have something announced and mentioning JJK, a lot of people thought he was like confirming or just hinting at a new JJK game being developed by CC2. Right, so when January 9th came, we were expecting some big announcement to follow up with the anime release. Nothing happened, right? It was crickets. Okay, so fast forward a couple weeks later, we get this tweet put out from CC2 saying they are announcing a new game project on February 16th, right? So if you go back and look at the quote from the CC2 representative and kind of link it to this new tweet or this new information that's been put out, everyone's, kind of speculating on a new JJK game. And also, if you look at this announcement poster, there's some font in here that's very similar to some of the font we see used in the JJK promotions in like video games and things like that. I'm not saying it's the exact same, but it looks very similar. It kind of has that JJK aesthetic a little bit. All right, so if you're not familiar with CyberConnect's 2 game, they're pretty much known for their work on the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series, as well as Demon Slayer Kami Chronicles, and they also did Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. As far as anime games, that's like their most popular ones. Mainly being the Storm series, right? It's kind of where they got like their claim to fame at. I'm not saying they didn't make any good games before that, but that's where a lot of people know them from, right? And the Storm series is known for its fast-paced gameplay, its good cinematics, animation stuff. People like the way the Storm games look, as well as the other games. Like CC2 makes a beautiful game as far as like aesthetic, cinematics, visuals like that. They're pretty much known for that, right? So I really got no problem with CC2, honestly. They know what they do and they do it well for the majority of the time. So where we kind of got to pump the brakes at a little bit is because outside of that original tweet in the beginning of the year, or that original quote in the beginning of the year, there was really no mention of a Jujutsu Kaisen game since then. If you look at this tweet from Hiroshi, who is like the head president of CC2, what he quote tweeted, right? On the previous tweet, it says they're going to be announcing a completely new original game title, right? So when he says completely new original game title, that kind of leads me to believe that this is something that CC2 is working on independently and it's not like a licensed anime IP, right? Because usually if it was a licensed anime IP, Bandai Namco or would have been kind of talking about it already, or maybe would have hinted to share something. But there's been no talk from Bandai Namco. Obviously they just released My Hero Academia's All Justice last week, so I don't know how busy they are at the moment. But I mean, when they say all new original game title, that kind of takes away the hype a little bit, because CC2 does have prior games that they've worked on that haven't been licensed anime IPs that have been, created by CC2. All right, so in long story short, I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I didn't want this video to be too long and I don't want to get to rambling, but I'm not here to say whether there's a JJK game in the works by CC2 or not. What I am trying to say is that they're announcing something on the 16th. Nobody really knows what it is until they actually announce something. Now, that being said, if there is a JJK game that's coming out by CC2, which, hey, anything JJK I'm on board with, right? I don't want another Storm clone, bro. Right, and that's kind of my worry when I hear CyberConnect 2, is because that's what they're good at, right? We've had maybe 7 Naruto Storm games, bro. And we've had 2 Demon Slayers, which I'm not gonna disrespect it and say it's a straight up Storm clone, even though it kind of feels that way to me sometimes. But it's ran off that same formula, off that same blueprint. if we keeping it a buck, how many times do we need to see the same game slapped with a different skin on it? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the worst direction we could possibly get for a JJK game, is for them to just kind of run that same Storm formula and put it on JJK. And I see a lot of y'all asking for that, which is why I made this video, because bro, y'all don't even play Storm anymore. Like, for as much everyone that wants an anime game say, oh, I want this but Storm, I want Bleach but Storm, I want JJK but Storm. Like, y'all don't even play Storm to be requesting all these Storm clones. Y'all probably haven't played Storm since like 2018 if we keeping it a buck. Because we know how Connections did, right? We all stopped playing Connections the minute they stopped putting out DLC. And we all can come to an agreement to say Connections was a straight up cash grab, right? Like, that was a scam in itself. And Storm's been dead for a while now, right? And I'm sure there's few, like, there's a community out there, there's a scene out there for Storm. But when I get on, I can't find no matches, bro. Right? To keep it a buck. So everyone's saying they want a Storm clone, bro. Y'all not even playing Storm at the moment. To be requesting all this. Now, Demon Slayer, that's another thing, right? So I'm not gonna speak on that. But I don't want the same game with just a different anime skin put on it. I feel like this next game needs to have some uniqueness, needs to have some character individuality, which I think Viking did a really good job of. And I guess CC2, where their side is, they kind of increase the visuals and make the game actually more appealing to people on the outside looking in. I feel like for Curse Clash, for people on the outside looking in, you look at the game on the basis and you say, oh, this game looks trash, it looks like a mobile game. I'll give you that on the visual side, sure. But a lot of y'all just got on the game for an hour, played with a random, and just hit XXX or square a couple times. And was like, oh, this game sucks, has no combos, it looks bad. And we keeping it a buck, right? So I just want to say, be careful what we asking for here. And let's try to, manage expectations when it comes to the 62 announcement and the next JJK game, whatever that may be. So that's just my initial thoughts on it, bro. I just kind of wanted to put out, because a lot of people who are not following it really well, but just seeing like some little posts are kind of like automatically assuming or thinking that we're getting a JJK game announced, and that may not be the case, but I'm hoping for a JJK game. I really am, bro. I just don't want them to slap some pretty visuals on it and just give us whatever gameplay wise. That's kind of my stance and how I feel, and I might be on the island on that, and that's okay, and I'm cool with that. So, because I know a lot of y'all hold Storm and want everything to be like Storm, and that's fine, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, we need something new. We need something different. We need something original. And that's something that we're going to go forward with getting good anime games. But that's pretty much it for me, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Until next time, man, y'all be smooth. Let's get it. Yo.